Monsters Season 3, Episode 20, Werewolf of Hollywood. An episode that takes on the movie business and horror movies, like Scream 3. We have horror movie screenwriter Buzz, who gets a visit from a fan, Vicky, whose hair doesn't realize that it's 1990, not 1985. This is the 90s, folks. But this style is about to go away, thank God. She has been assigned to help Buzz write a script. Their executive, Buzz's boss, Tamdovsky, great name, not Sandusky, Tamdovsky, holy shit, say that 10 times in a row. The executive Tamdovsky wants Buzz to punch up his script called Werewolf of Hollywood that seems eerily like it's based on real events. The script talks about how in the backlots of a Hollywood studio there's a werewolf going around killing people. According to Buzz, the script is very poorly written, and he says it's never going to be a successful movie. But it doesn't seem that that's the reason Tamdovsky wants Buzz to look at the script. He's kind of nudging him and being like, hey Buzz, why don't you read this script? Doesn't it sound exactly like what's happening around here? Don't you hear weird voices late at night? Don't you see that people are going around missing?
Leo Tandowski did hire me, and Billy Mariner okayed it.
Billy Mariner? He's the head of the whole damn studio. He doesn't give a flying you-know-what.
If you don't believe me, let's just get him on the phone. Mr. Tandowski, what is the story anyway? Buzz seems to have misplaced the outline.
I left it with my hopes and dreams.
And your talent. The basic idea is simple, Miss Romer. A top Hollywood executive is, in fact, a hereditary werewolf. During the full moon, he turns into a blood-crazed beast. Now, most of the time, those closest to him can keep him caged up during the crucial hours. But over the years, he has managed to escape more than a few times to seek his victims in the Hollywood Hills, sometimes even on the back lot of his own studio.
It's weak, Leo.
Quiet. Then, a courageous producer on the lot. A young William Holden type who's had a dozen money-making pictures, but still hasn't been promoted like he was promised. He stumbles on the secret. He investigates and uncovers the string of brutal murders and vows to unmask the werewolf before the next full moon.
We get the first reveal of the werewolf, and it's no dog soldiers. In fact, I don't think any werewolf looks as good as dog soldiers. This is what a werewolf should look like. No one should try anything else. Just copy this. When he runs into this werewolf, he realizes it's actually the head honcho, the CEO, Billy Mariner. The script is pretty good here. There's some kind of funny parts, and it does seem like they're kind of edging around how corrupt Hollywood is, how there's this kind of rigid structure that everybody has to abide by. And while they don't really go into anything sexual, there is kind of like a casting couch type vibe going around here too with Vicky. And definitely seems to have some throwbacks to Sunset Boulevard, especially in these scenes where you see the infamous film noir shades. Looking like someone's body is being cut up as they're talking. About halfway through the episode, Sandusky gets knocked off by the werewolf. He's dead. He's killed. He was getting a little too close to the truth, and the werewolf did not want this script going around the rest of the studio, since it gave a lot of indications that there actually is a werewolf and where to find him. The guy who plays Buzz is Richard Belzer, who's a pretty famous actor, but he's quite bad here. I mean, this entire time he doesn't have any reaction to the werewolf. He doesn't seem to care. He throws a few one-liners at the end that I'll show, but other than that, I think he's a pretty bad choice.
Uncle, you got the brains of a receptionist. Forget about the werewolf. Nobody would blame you. Just tell Vicky that you looked and you couldn't find it. That's it. I mean, I'd buy that.
But Richard Belzer did act in some great movies like Scarface.
Another great night here at the Babylon, right? Okay. All right. We'll do another gram, you'll all be Babylon. Is that coke in your brow? You're just glad to see me. A little bit of hope, I'm sure, yes. I'm in a good mood tonight. I was a little depressed when I got up this morning because I had a dry dream.
Vicky and Buzz decide to team up and find this werewolf and kill him once and for all. Luckily, Vicky found a gun that has real silver bullets in it. It's not a prop gun, and it was used in the newest Werewolf movie. We get two sets here, one in Buzz's office, and then one that kind of takes place in the back lots. It would be cooler if this had a bigger budget and they could actually walk around In fact, if these are sets and it was actually filmed on a studio lot, they should have just gone on location and walked around there. Buzz finds the werewolf and almost talks his way out of it, but says something that's very, very triggering. Something you should never say to an executive.
I'm afraid you won't find anything. I got here ahead of you, bud.
Buzz.
How's that?
My name is Buzz, not Bud.
Let me tell you something, Buzz. A bright young man like you doesn't want to spend the rest of his life writing grade Z horror flicks. I think we can do business.
You mean the kind of business you did with Leo Tandowski?
Leo Tandowski was a vindictive and perverse little man. Making a movie about my unfortunate genetic defect was in extremely bad taste.
And what about your other victims? What errors of good taste did they commit?
When I was younger, before I took this job, I could control the changes. Sometimes I could remain human through a whole cycle of the full moon. But let me tell you something, Buzz. The pressures I'm under in this job, the stress, it wears away the self-control. Sometimes there's a full moon. Someone makes me angry. I change. I kill. But you're not gonna make me angry, are you, Buzz?
That wasn't my plan, believe me.
I like to think of myself as a reasonable man. You're on my team, I'm on your team. Buzz, for the price of a little discretion, you could be writing big pictures. I mean prestige productions, major stars, 6 figures, 7 figures. With your talent and your ability to remain loyal, I see you going right to the top. You could work your way up to producer around here.
It's not enough, Billy.
Really? I see. And just what would make it enough?
I want to direct.
What is it with you guys? Everybody wants to direct. Here's a counteroffer. I'll rip out your throat and throw your body down the canyon, like we did with Tandowski.
Stand back. I've got silver bullets in this gun. All right, I'll take the deal.
Sorry, Bud. But I'm afraid we can't have an effective working relationship. Not after this.
So we see that Buzz begins getting chased by his boss, and he ends up killing him with his silver screenwriting award. They reference this award a few times during the episode. He picks it up, looks at it, kind of messes with people, and it's a hand with a very, very large, pointy pen that just happens to be silver. The gun that he was given by Vicky, maybe she's in on it, actually didn't really have silver bullets. Looks like she pulled a fast one on him. I mean, can you really trust someone dressed like this? I don't think so.
I'll work for scale. Plus 10.
The werewolf looks better towards the end. We see a kind of transformation where he looks normal, then kind of halfway in between, like they do with werewolf movies, and then we get his full form. And when it's dark, the mask looks okay. I think I'm feeling a solid 7 for this one. Also, it seems like they're kind of making fun of the movie industry. The boss has all the power, and the fact that this guy's going around as a werewolf and seemingly only one person notices, seems like some people are covering for him, like a Weinstein situation or something. The only thing I don't really like that much is the main character. I just feel like he looks a little too dorky and isn't very convincing. But I guess that's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be a kind of down on his luck screenwriter. Also wish they had read more of the script Werewolf of Hollywood. Buzz says that it's a terrible movie. It seems like he kind of makes terrible movies too. I mean, he made a movie called Zombie Honeymoon. Can't imagine that was amazing. We end kind of on an ominous note, with Vicky barging in, admitting, of course, she set him up.
Are you okay? I got concerned, so I came.
Yeah, spare me, babe. I got you figured.
What are you talking about?
No one but you knew I was going to the soundstage tonight, and Billy Mariner was waiting for me. And those silver bullets, turned out they were regular bullets, the kind that werewolves laugh at. Lucky for me, I remembered that thing was silver, or it'd be me lying dead on that desk. Kid, you sold me out to Mariner for the sake of your pitiful career.
You're right, Buzz. I did double-cross you. But not for the sake of my career. I was trying to find out what you and Leo were up to. Uncle Billy was getting nervous.
Uncle Billy? Mariner?
Yeah. And there's one thing you ought to keep in mind about wolves. They usually run in packs.
I'm just going to assume, since he still has that screenwriting award that is silver, that he picks that up and stabs her. Though I think he's probably trying to imply that he gets eaten. But I'm just going to say he wins in the end and becomes a huge director. Maybe this is how Quentin Tarantino got his start in Hollywood. Worked at a video store, killed the werewolf in Hollywood, then made Kill Bill. 7 out of 10. Thomas Wayland directed the episode. He has been a production manager and location manager for the movie Man on the Moon, Miss Congeniality, and the Sex and the City series. The episode was written by Ron Gorlitt, who was the uncredited creator of the William Shatner TV series Tech War. Uncredited director. I don't know what the hell that means. Hope he got paid. Geraldine Lear played Vicky. She is still acting today, and she was in Mystic Pizza and was recently in Law & Order and the Netflix series Manifest. Next up, episode 21, Talk Nice to Me, about a suave playboy who gets stalked by a mysterious voice who keeps calling him. 3 more episodes until we conclude the series, Monsters.